brief shot of the referee's tablet. Referees and coaches have tablets to work from to connect with all the technology here. Mammadova, Rabadzieva going to go through the outside position, and then no surprise to see the rest of the team pretty much the same as that first game. Carcassonne is going to get a start. Lins and Nascimento, Silva and Menezes and Almeida, but those won't be the names on the shirts. Usually the Brazilian teams using their surnames, so look out for Adenzia, Thaisa, Mari, Samara, Inva, Diana, and Camilla, the libero. So out onto court comes this Zurich team. They're going to have to play a lot better than they did against Partizan Belgrade in their first match today. And in particular, they're going to have to sort out their service reception to give Courtney Thompson the best possible base to set the big attackers from. But for me, Mammadova looked a little bit slow through the outside. Rabadzieva was struggling. Rykliuk of Ukraine looked very solid in the opposite position. She's going to have a big game. But through the middle, they looked good enough. Ninkovic, in particular, looked fabulous, the Serbian middle blocker. So Zurich has the talent, has the players, but they're going to have to push very hard here against a talented team. So Danielle Lins, number 3, looks like she's getting the start as the setter. And also joining her on court, Samara Almeida for the outside attackers, along with Ivna Nascimento. Ivna is going to play opposite Thaisa, one of the tallest players out there on court. The captain enjoying her role at the moment by the looks of it. The libero in a different coloured skirt rather than shirt this time round. That's a novel innovation from the Brazilian point of view. Not sure how they stand on the rules on that one, although if you look, the difference of the blue and white on the top for Camilla is definitely very obviously different. Group A action, then our third match of the day from the Top-Volley International Tournament in Basel, Switzerland. A fabulous encounter in the offing. Two very talented teams, but in particular the Brazilian side. Molico Osasco at the far end of the court in the blue and white strip can field a whole host of internationals, Olympians and Olympic medalists. Mari Steinbrecher amongst them in the number 7 shirt. Regular on court for this team over the years, but not getting a start for the moment in this match. But they do have Carcassonne and Thaisa and the like out on court for Brazil. But Volero Zurich, their opponents, their second match of the day in this group, having beaten Partizan Belgrade in match 1. Coming onto court with a change from the starting 6 that we saw earlier today, and Anna Kuprianova is that player that is the difference. She starts with a nice reverse play running around the back of the setter and captain. USA Olympian and silver medal winner just about to serve. Courtney Thompson. Well, the Brazilian team won't be afraid of using quite expansive plays here. The problem they'll have is if there's not enough deception on it, there's some big blockers waiting. Great stuff. Mammadova alongside Kuprianova. Azerbaijan alongside Russia. Although Mammadova doesn't play anymore in the Azerbaijan international setup. And a tip well retrieved by Thompson. The forthcoming off-pace play, not so well dealt with, I have to say, by the Brazilian libero, Camille Bray. National team player for a good number of years now, and oh my goodness me, haven't Brazil had some cracking liberos over the years. Very sluggish start here from Molico Osasco. That's a better pass from Camilla. Out wide and hammered into the block. Carcassonne not looking at her best there. She is an unbelievable player when she gets going. Touches 323 on her spike approach, which, when you consider the tallest block reach on the other side of the net, belongs to Rykliuk at 304. She should really be beating her quite easy, but Rykliuk getting the better of her Cuban opponent on that occasion. Carcassonne, the only non-Brazilian player in this Molico lineup. Molico, the short name of the Osasco club. A few of the Brazilian volleyball clubs have been established for a long, long time, but have changed their names to accommodate sponsors over the years. Molico Nestlé, very successful at world club and Brazilian club tournaments over the last few years, led by the enigmatic Sheila, international superstar of the Brazilian women's team. She has now moved on to Vakif Bank, but they won that as Solis last year, the World Club Championship. That's more like it. Very, very powerful in the opposite position. Ladenzia Silva knows how to hit the ball. And that one stayed hit. The big number 5 for Molico goes back to the service line. Ladenzia, generally the nickname by which she is referred to, the surname was Silva. And looked to me like a net touch called against Carcassay. Not the best start from the Cuban outside hitter. Yeah, just collapsing into the net and over the line. Take your pick there from the second official's point of view. Mamedova serves, picking on Carcassay. Not getting much to work with there, the Cuban. But Zurich can't get any force into this attack, and there's the go-to player for Molico. Expect to see that from Taisa on many, many occasions today. One of the glamour girls from the Brazilian international team. Incredibly popular back in her home country. But a very recognisable superstar at 1m96 or so. Nice pass out wide. Turning dig into set, but just drifted into the net a little too far. Captain being very vocal here. It takes time to get a team going. It's not easy to get the journey out of your legs. For these players involved in club championships, domestically and in their regions. It's a poor pass from Carcassay. She's going to have to improve that side of her game. Zurich with a free attack, but wasted. Rigliuk was the star player for Zurich against Belgrade in the first game of today. The opposite player, 27 years of age now, from Ukraine. Signed for Zurich back in 2013. And they've got quite a few players that have been on the roster since 2011, 2012. But they also took in around about half a new team over the summer. Popovic defeated on that jump serve. Popovic, the Serbian libero, European championship winning squad member. But a heavy serve from Carcassay. And again, Popovic this time deals with it. Beautifully done. That's what you want to see. And Rabatieva, who did struggle a little bit against, in particular, this morning, the block of Boskovic. This occasion defeating a block that is just as big, but not quite as well formed on that occasion. Two-point cushion then for Volero Zurich to work with. They're going to have to make the best use of this. Without doubt, the Brazilian side coming into this match as clear favourites. Good line serve, but just wide from Taisa. So the two-point advantage turns to 3 as we hit the first technical time out of set 1. We'll take a break there too. Welcome back. Volero Zurich come into this tournament off the back of what has been a very good domestic season so far. 13 matches, 13 wins, only 6 sets dropped. And in this morning's, I keep saying this morning, but the first game of today, just into the early part of the afternoon, Volero Zurich taking on Partizan. I did say that Volero had lost to Omichka of Russia in the Champions League. In fact, they beat them 3-2, so Second position for them in the Champions League Group D, with 2 wins from 3. So they come in very confident into this tournament. You have to feel that coming up against international quality, they are going to improve their game. There were times against Partizan when they did go to sleep a little bit, but this is a very impressive start from the team in the dark blue and white kits. Ninkovic, one of the pick of the players today so far with the stop. Thompson not even getting involved in the block on that occasion. Another good slow-down block from Ninkovic. What a kill. That's unbelievable. Well, Ninkovic is showing us just about everything at the moment. The Serbian middle blocker is having a cracking day out there on court. Gets the slow-down block and then falling over to get to Thompson's set. She's absolutely hammered that. How did she get her hand across the top of that ball? Brilliant play. Decent enough response from Molico. They've got to start playing here. Solid attack from Denizia. Well, with their tails up, they're going to be very difficult to stop. I don't think Mammadova is in the best of shape. She's grimacing after that one. That left leg very heavily strapped around the hamstring, quad, and then down into the knee. But the 30-year-old Azerbaijan former international putting that one away. And Ninkovic continues her good run. Great recovery. Ninkovic throwing herself at that ball but couldn't quite get it back in play. Nice try though from the middle blocker. She hasn't hurt her hand after that dive. Certainly holding it rather gingerly. So back to the service line for Molico, and it's Samara Almide, the outside players. Samara. They can't afford to blow too many points too easily here. Volero Zurich have to remain quite cautious, keep the ball in play. They've done well enough at the moment, just putting Karkasay under pressure. She's not performed well in backcourt. Kuprianova can't put the ball away. Lovely retrieve from Camilla. And a very nice response. Thompson going for a second time to Kuprianova. And the Brazilian blockers not expecting this one. Well, that's the first pick-up from Camilla. They went the other way on that occasion, beating Ivna Nascimento, the opposite. So good solid hitting from Karkasay off the top of the fingers. Confirmed by referee Soko. 4 points in it still, though. Big height from Karkasay. That's more like it. Looks like she's just starting to wake up. Volero Zurich have already woken up. Got a game and a win under their belt, and they're playing very well indeed. But at the moment, Rychliuk still looking like the pick of the attackers, the Ukraine opposite. Nascimento in the back line, waits to see if she'll get a back line offense. No, goes wide to Karkasay. She tips, but well picked up by Kuprianova and Thompson. Taisa can't put it away. But that's not a problem for Rabadzieva. Rabadzieva, who had a tough time actually this morning. Coming back well. That's a great line shot. 2 blockers and 2 defenders to beat. She's done it well. And this Molico team, under the guidance of their coach, Luis Samar de Mora, are trying to react a little more to what's going on. They're trying to get themselves fired up with every point they win. They need to do something. This is a pretty tardy start. Nicely done. Kuprianova, not the most powerful of hitters, but took that ball nice and high off Thompson, wrapped it off the fingers and just out of the reach of Nascimento. Nascimento's moved into the front line, my apologies. So Danielle, who is the playmaker in the backcourt at the moment. Good front line then for this Molico side, Thaisa. Well, that just underlines how high she's jumping and how high she takes the ball. That ball was around about her chin. She's whipped that straight onto the floor. One captain defeating the other. Wow, high toss from Carcassonne. That was horrible. That didn't look right at all. Never even made an approach to the ball. And Thaisa not happy with the situation. I doubt she's happy with her team either. They're struggling. Zurich looking good at the moment, though. We'll take a break there. Welcome back to Basel. Well, we've seen it before with Brazilian teams. They can sometimes make a slow start. Over the years at Olympic qualifiers and World Grand Prix tournaments, they can sometimes get off to fairly sluggish starts in tournaments. And by that I mean go 1 or 2 sets down before waking up. A couple of very famous matches on Eurosport. Japan v Brazil. Japan getting off to 2-0 starts and losing 3-2. And, well, I wonder if we'll get a challenge here, because the referee Sokol has called Danielle Lins into Zurich court space. They say that she's saying she set this from Zurich court space. And I have to say, the only thing I saw there was a net touch from the Zurich player. So a little bit unlucky, Molico. And I'm afraid their luck isn't changing at the moment. This set is going rapidly the way of the Swiss side. That definitely wasn't in the Zurich court space. I'm completely with Danielle on that one. That's the way it goes sometimes. And in a sport like this, unless it is the very last point, then generally speaking, a single point going against you isn't going to do too much damage. Well, never looks happy at the best of times, does head coach Dragutin Baltic, communicating with his players in Serbian, but translated via middle blocker Ninkovic into English for the likes of Thompson. Also got Hartong of the USA in the team. Well, the paintbrush attack, I think Thaisa just hitting with the fingers underneath the ball, not intentionally so. But it works. Players tend to be on the back foot because they think they've got a hard hit coming, and then it doesn't happen. And this is a messy, messy start to this game from Molico, and the captain now contributing an error. Six-point advantage then to Volero Zurich in this first set. They should be able to bring this home. Asking for the net touch. It's gone against them. It's gone Volero Zurich's way. Maybe this is going to be a challenge. The hit into, well, fingers into the net. Didn't see that actually touch the net tape. But referee Sokol convinced it was Zurich's point for the net touch. So Zurich get it. Babazieva with the serve. Nothing at the moment working for the Brazilian team. I think the lack of passing stability from Molico, in particular from Carcassonne, the Cuban, has been the problem. This is great scramble from Zurich. Wonderful defense from Thompson. Oh, well, Babazieva. There's a contest that Thompson was never going to win, but the ball's still in play. Molico get another go at this one. Finally, crunched with real power, and Popovic just couldn't quite get to it, but that's got the crowd on their toes. Plenty of Zurich fans here to support their team, and they will have enjoyed the determination on show in that rally. They would not let that ball die, and Molico were on the front foot for most of that. Some good power hitting and some very good defence from Zurich. Still got that 6-point cushion. Don't want to let a good rally get in the way of your apple, do you? Back to the service line, Molico, but in all sorts of bother in this first set. Just making it look so easy, and with so many points as a cushion, they really aren't hitting too hard. They're just hitting carefully, hitting good spaces, and another great kill from Rigliuk. She'll certainly be up there with the points at the end of this first set on the stats. Tough serve, very good serve from Rigliuk. And the block is good against the tip of Kuprianova. Just didn't quite get that slide around the back right. Thompson's set just hung in the air a little too long. Needs some momentum here, Molico. Won't help the situation. Thompson scrambling back, didn't look a particularly clean set, but got it wide enough for Mammadova. And that's the key. Mammadova does not want a flat fast ball. She wants the ball with a little bit of peak on it so she can go in her own timing, and she's a good enough hitter to ask for that. She'll put the ball away under pressure. She won't put it away if she's having to work too quickly. Karkase, very similar hitter, likes the ball high and wide. Mammadova drawing it off the wing, but gets enough of it to force that off the blocker now. This is great work from Volero Zurich. And I have to say, they are making a phenomenal side, packed with international talent. Look pretty ordinary here. They have to keep this pressure going in set 2, Zurich. They have to keep playing at this tempo. They have to try and rule out as many direct errors as they can. Back on comes Teise. Off goes Kamir, the libero. She'll be back on again after Adenazia has served. That was overpassed, so Thompson unable to make the play. A carry called by referee Sokol. Good call as well. Thumbs up from Thompson signals that she's in complete agreement with the referee. I do like to see top-class players do that. You've mishandled, and Thompson's a good enough setter to know that. Nice middle attack then. They are constructing a very good first set here, Volero Zurich. Another solid pass, Kuprianova didn't get the best of sets, but it's the distribution sometimes that counts. Just keep the opposition working, keep them guessing, and rotate that kind of philosophy along with your best hitters to get the job done. Untere then comes on for Zurich. Had a good game when she came on against Partizan earlier today. Oh, that's what it's all about through the wing. And Rabadzieva has absolutely crunched that spike cross court. Good pass from Untere, lovely set from Thompson. And, well, you don't often see that. Camilla turning away, didn't fancy it. Hit very hard. Plenty of set points then for a 1-0 lead for the Swiss team. They're not going to get it straight away. Karkase forcing that off the hands. But they need to see a lot more of that in the second set, Molico. Back in comes Danielle, the starting setter, Danielle Lins. Got another very good setter in Diana Xavier, number 14. She was on briefly before the substitution was reversed. And again, hitting through the block at will. Beautiful finish from Regliuk. And a beautiful first set from Volero Zurich. They really did look the business there. They've played very, very well indeed. And Molico didn't get a look in. Zurich lead 1-0. We'll take a break there. Welcome back. So the statistics from set one make very good reading for Volero Zurich. 25-17, the main one, the points total. And they really have demolished Molico Nestlé. The Brazilian club are going to have to find something in this second set to inspire them, because their key players are not firing. And tactically, well, Molico got it all wrong. Volero Zurich got it all right, because they targeted Carcassay, the Cuban, very early on. And that has certainly worked. Not a great first set for the Brazilian coach, Luis Amar, and his team, Molico Nestlé, under the captaincy of Teysa, making a pretty inauspicious start to their entry into Group A of this tournament. Odessa Belgrade will be watching on with great interest. They will have some real ideas about how they're going to attack this Brazilian team tomorrow. The top two sides go through from each group. Group A comprised of the hosts, Volero Zurich, hosts by virtue of the fact that they are the home team, the Swiss team, but playing here in Basel, not their regular home venue. Molico Nestlé, Partizan Belgrade, and Mammadova in a bit of trouble there on the floor, and I'm not sure we're going to see Mammadova play too much more of a part in this match. And that heavy strapping clearly protecting a knee, because when Mammadova went over, she struggled to get back up, and when she got back up, she was really holding on to the left leg, and she's limping quite heavily now. Denazia then back to serve, middle blocker for Molico, into the net. They just cannot get any rhythm going. Mammadova still on. She's going to have to keep an eye on that knee. Over on two. Danielle not trusting the hitters. Carcassay getting a hand on that one, but it's a reuse play for Volero Zurich. Great up, well scrambled. Very good play by Camilla, and finally Carcassay unleashes one of those spikes that we've come to know and love. Cuban has hit this very hard from very high. Great up, wasn't it, from Camilla? But a great finish from Carcassay. And I think the little reaction through the net just shows you she's not particularly happy with the way this Volero Zurich side have gone after her. Very important to point out that not that long ago, she was a Volero Zurich player herself. Oh, that was hit very hard. Nascimento in the opposite position picks up a piece of the hands there. Touch admitted to by the Volero Zurich blocker. Well, this is getting silly. The service errors from Molico, unacceptable. You just can't establish any rhythm in a match if you're going to keep missing your services. Get the ball in play, get a bonus point if you can maybe pick up an ace or a block, or defend and get the ball into transition. But if you keep missing them, you're going to have to keep doing all of your work on side out. And if Carcassay keeps passing like this, that's not going to be easy. Taisa's overcooked that one, always leaning away to the side and drifting as she ran in to hit it. And then the ball pushed past her as well by Danielle. She's missed the court by some distance, so another point to Volero Zurich. You have to feel that at some point this Molico side are going to wake up. Poor pass again from Carcassonne. She is the service target, and she's making an absolute hash of it in service receive. Another point goes to Volero Zurich. Maybe a challenge here. I think I saw Luis Marc signal that he wanted to challenge this one. In or out on the line is what he can request for. That'll be looked at by one of the 16 high-speed cameras on the playback on the table. And the referee will be informed. So a pause as the players all have a look at each other. It is confirmed as in. He looked pretty good in normal time. But the Brazilian players convinced it had gone wide. It hasn't. And, referee Sokol confirmed as correct in another decision aided by the lines judge. Priyanova then to serve, and there is the slow-mo. As the ball compresses, that is comfortably in. More wishful thinking, a pragmatic analysis of the situation by Molico, and Carcassonne is in a mess on first receive. She can't pass a ball at the moment for love nor money. And this is just getting worse and worse for the Brazilian team. They're starting to bicker with each other now. Volero Zurich looking very relaxed indeed. Luis Marc to go to work.
Atrasa um pouquinho, então passei em duas. Você tá feio, tá? Ou então vem aqui, a Ibira aparece lá. Ó, ei, tira a Kênia, a Ibira aparece lá. Tá, cabeça aí, vambora. Saca melhor com esse time aí.
All the time that Carcassonne is presenting such an obvious service target for Volero Zurich, Molico are going to struggle to get into this game. This is an absolutely golden opportunity for the Swiss team to take a victory here, but they're going to have to do it by playing quickly and hustling and sticking to the game plan for as long as they possibly can, because sooner or later Molico are going to start to play volleyball. Massive shot. Danielle sprinting into position to make that set, and Taisa was, what, metre and a half off the net, with the ball coming back to her, and she still finds the court with power. She is some player. Good blocking. So Taisa, 2 points in a row. Serve from Carcassonne, beautifully passed though. And I do love this about Thompson. She goes back to a player that has just been stopped, and she does it on quite a regular basis, and that's just as much deception as a combination attack. That was a very, very sweet play. Good off pace. Rickliuk still making attacking look easy. And smiles all around. Once again, Volero Zurich get to the first technical timeout with a 3-point advantage. We'll take a break there. It's all good at the moment for Volero Zurich here in Basel. Playing some fantastic volleyball against Molico of Brazil, but Molico themselves are contributing a lot of errors. They're making themselves very easy targets on service. Carcassonne gets the ball in this time to Danielle, but it's well stopped in the block. Not converted first time of asking, and still not converted, so chances here. Nascimento easily picked up. Thompson goes wide. Rabadzieva can't put it away. And again, still going back to the same hitter. It's working every time from Thompson. That's a screaming hit again from Rabadzieva. But Ninkovic was the star of that rally. A couple of good slow down blocks from her, and the Serbian still worth her weight in gold through the middle for Zurich. Again, the pass causing the problems. Thompson, good work, taking on the tallest of the Brazilian players, and Carcassonne rolls it out of play. Another poor point for Molico. The scoreline actually is matching the first set, virtually point for point. 10-5 then the lead to Zurich, and no surprise that we've got a change. Mari Steinbrecher, born in Sao Paulo, of German and Russian descent, but plays her international volleyball for Brazil, despite being eligible for Germany, but moving into the senior part of her career now, the big number 7. Clearly doesn't fancy the sleeveless tops, so has the option to play in a top underneath if she wishes. 31 years of age now, Steinbrecher, but still an impressive athlete. Taisa with the serve. Good shot. That's a really good shot from Rabadzieva. Drawn in off her wing. So you have to create new angles. You have to move very quickly to beat the ball. Watch the footwork here. Great work to come inside. And then crunches that into the corner. Not the first time she's hit a heavy spike from off the net today. That's a good shot from her. Oh, it's just a mess at the moment for Molico Nestle. It's not their fault. It's not Carcassonne's problem. That's just a slice of luck from Rabadzieva. Carcassonne again short with her pass. And that's luck. Molico get away with one there. Good bit of hustle at the nets from the middle player. Adenazia, who I notice plays in pretty hefty knee supports these days. Oh, lovely slide attack. That's beautifully worked from Thompson. And she's found Ninkovic with an absolute peach of a set. Look at Ninkovic finish that one. Well, Camilla fancied playing it, but got nowhere near it, really. Oh, very difficult to explain what on earth Danielle was trying to do there. Looked to me like she had time to actually get airborne and make the set. Chose to stay on the floor and just try and flick it into the air one-handed. 7-point lead already for Volero Zurich. Another poor pass from Carcassonne. Thompson is everywhere, and the outside hitting of this Zurich team has been sensational. Now they have to keep it going. That's the problem that they have. They are making some unbelievable plays here. Look at Thompson scurrying to get it airborne, but it's turned into a wonderful set for Mammadova, who clips it down the line. That's a lovely cut on the ball. How long can they keep this going? Or are we going to descend into a battle for this match? It's another good serve. It's another messy response in the backcourt. And Volero Zurich just looking better and better. Molico looking out of it. 16-7, the Swiss team lead at the second technical timeout.
caras não vão vir fechando uma na gente. Pô, são grandes, vão vir buscando o fundo aqui. Temos que jogar na nossa
Coach Luis Jamar getting more and more vocal during these timeouts. Near as vocal as some of the verbal thrashings we've seen from the likes of Bernardinho, Roberto Guimarães. Two national coaches at the moment for Brazil. Don't know what sort of processes they're going to go through over the next 2 years into Rio, the biggest, most high-pressure selections that any of the coaches will have ever been through. They have such a wealth of talent in both men's and women's volleyball in Brazil to choose from. The cut, some of the players that don't ever represent Brazil at an Olympic Games is terrifying. You could easily put them into a squad that could win medals on the Olympic stage, and they don't even make the games. But that's a story for another day. Back to the story so far today. Volero Zurich heading towards their second win and playing sensationally against Molico. In turn are making some horrific errors. I mean, they really are struggling to play here. Mammadova has to dump that over. Another good slow-down block. Now, can Thompson get this ball wide enough? She can. Mammadova's hit it hard, but into the block. At last, Adenazia gets something for her efforts in that middle blocking position. Just still don't think this went quite wide enough for Mammadova. She doesn't like to be rushed, and she's clearly limping a little bit on the left leg. Backline offense this time, whipped through that arm. Rikliuk has missed it. Immediately, the review is called for, and that's Popovic saying to the coach, Baltic, you've got to review this. I'm not sure he liked being spoken to like that. He saw it. So 18-8, must have picked up a touch on the way. Thompson to serve with that rather unusual service action, just protecting the shoulder a little bit. Steinbrecher doesn't get it on the floor. Referee Sokol says that's still live. And this is a horrible finish to the rally in the end. But Steinbrecher says that she killed that ball. Zurich say they kept it alive, and the referee in the end going with Zurich. Point goes to Molico. So, well, what looks like a bit of a dead set could come to life if Brazil, or the Brazilian players, can get themselves a few quick points here. Denizia with the serve. Nicely passed by Popovic, nicely set by Thompson. And another shot by Rikliuk goes wide. And what Zurich mustn't do is get down on themselves here. Massively, just keep playing. You can miss a shot or two, that's fine. Mammadova, Rikliuk and Rabadzieva have to keep going in this match. They've got to keep swinging. They've got to keep putting the ball away. And they'll be fine. They'll certainly get a 2-0 lead. Thompson with an expansive set that doesn't come off. Rikliuk with another shot off the block. It's still in play. Should be a free ball. No. Well set. Beautifully set. Well handled by Popovic. And another good block. Taisa this time with the shutdown. And some signs here that Molico are coming to life in this match. And doesn't coach Dragutin Baltic know it? Timeout called by the Volero Zurich coach, as the big names for this Molico Nestle side just start to rumble into action.
We have to play, we can do outside pocket, they are very low. So you go shoot two first step before long side, and then you use outside blocker.
So Coach Baltic wants Thompson to try and run this middle play, and if it's still in play after that, to get it wide and just try and keep the middles for Brazil moving. Keep them guessing, try and pin them down or make their journey to the outside a fast and uncomfortable one. white home strips of Zurich. This is just too horrible to watch on occasions from Molico. Some basic errors. Mammadova off, in comes Montenegro, who has been a very able replacement at service and on her backline duties. She's also hit very tidily when she's got to the front court as well, so Zurich have depth on the bench. Montura to serve then. And down it goes. Rychliuk needed that one, I think. She'd just gone off the boil a touch at the Ukraine opposite player. Needed to kill one just for a bit of confidence. Despite Camilla's best attentions, that does hit the floor. So coach Luis Samar's turn to call a timeout.
Ali vai ter as duas centrais, a Mari tá chegando aqui, fica sofrendo ainda, agora temos que sacar pouquinho melhor. Na hora que o time vai aqui, vamos pro saque, moçada. Ó, estamos lá com a Mammadova exposta ali, ó, a gente já meteu um monte na rede. Estamos nem errando no fundo, estamos errando na rede. Tá? Vambora, cabeça.
Those of you that speak Portuguese, hopefully you will have got something from that. Teams watching on to see what is ahead for them in this tournament. Still have Racing Club Cannes to play, and they are waiting in the wings, watching on, looking pretty relaxed in the stands there. Cannes, 5 teams that you think could realistically win this tournament. Molico, one of those 5 teams, but on this performance, they're not going to win anything. And a backcourt attack from Steinbrecher, just transgressing over the 3-metre line. If you're a backcourt hitter, you must take off from behind that 3-metre line. You can land in front of it once you've hit the ball, but you've got to take off behind it. No arguments from Steinbrecher. That is one of the appeals that can be made, actually. Backcourt player on the line via the video check system. Good shot. Grabadzeva fading away, but trying to channel all her efforts into hitting the seam of that block between Thaisa, number 14, Diana. Done it well. The backup setter on for Danielle, but she is a target in the block. Can be found quite easily. On the line, backline ace. And just that little stumble at the mid-phase of this set, where Molico looked to be finding their feet, but that's been crushed again. Montenegro with another very good performance from the service line. Means that Volero Zurich need 2 more points now for 2-0. Wow, that's hit very hard from Thaisa. Much better tempo to that as well. All these slower attacks in the middle have their value. If you can get it to the middle quickly, nobody is set in defence, and if you've beaten the blocker, it is invariably a kill. Overpass from Montenegro. Thaisa crunches another one. Well defended by Thompson. She'll be disappointed with her teammates for not converting that. Rychliuk it is that immediately apologises. Brave defence there. Thompson really stood her ground. The American defending this well. That was hit hard off the top of the arm, but perfectly legitimate play. Ball pass from Popovic. Picked up from Camilla. Another point chance to Molico. Taken. Nice feed from Diana out wide. Drilled down the line by Samara. 22 years of age, Samara. Still very much finding her way as a wing attacker at this level. 184 tall as well, so giving up a little in height to some of the outside players at this tournament. Steinbrecher forced to volley it over. Thompson with an opportunity to score here. Goes to Rychliuk, and Rychliuk is nicely covered. Thaisa moving well now, the middle blocker for Molico. this time it's coach Baltic's turn to look pretty nervous after that point.
Be ready for reception.
Some timeout call. Nice simple instructions again.
Play 8. Team!
Trying to keep Thompson's mind focused here on what he wants. Tough cookie is Thompson. Played a lot of volleyball over the years and under a few different coaches. So I was thinking a professional sense. Yes, you've got to have your professional discipline and mentality, which he clearly has, but how much instruction, how much information you take on from a new coach is always interesting. He wants her to go quick here if he can, if she can. She can't off that. Kuprianova, who was going to get that quicker set, has to play setter. Now that is not just quick, that is very powerful indeed, and Taisa starting to show this crowd what she can do here in Basel. Not sure it was ever in doubt, but she's really shown nothing of that international quality until the last 5 minutes or so. A couple of good blocks and 3 thumping spikes, followed by a service error, and there you go, all the good work undone. Service errors, passing errors, it's costing Molico everything at the moment. They just cannot get into the rhythm of this game. And once again, carbon copy score. 8 set points available for Volero Zurich, and a mismatch in the middle. Diana just sailing that ball past Taisa. And 25-16 is a very, very impressive scoreline for Volero Zurich. They go 2-0 ahead on Molico of Brazil. We'll take a break there. Welcome back. Things looking very good for the Swiss team Volero Zurich on day 1 of our coverage here from this Top-Volley international tournament. A regular fixture in the calendar just after Christmas for some of the top club sides around Europe, and also our guests here from South America, Molico Nestle of Brazil. And they are having a torrid time on court, Molico, at the moment, packed with international quality. Olympic medal winning stars, the likes of Taisa, Steinbrecher and Carcassay. But no way into this match so far. Volero Zurich led by this woman, captain and setter, Courtney Thompson, having a superb game at the moment. Thompson really leading the way, setting very well indeed. A lot of industry to get that ball airborne for the big hitters. But Mamadova, Rukliuk and Ravazieva have been superb. Touch asked for. Free Sokol saying she doesn't want any more of that. Move away, didn't see it. Carcassay with the hit. Well, it wasn't clear. Certainly was clear of the court, but it wasn't clear whether it touched a finger on the way. That is not part of the appeals process here with these super slow-mo cameras. Mari hits wide. So Steinbrecher didn't start this match, but has come on to court. But at the moment, unable to really influence this match. Thompson chiding herself after that one. But forget it, it's gone. Concentrate on the next important part of your job, and from Thompson's point of view, that's to get onto this second ball. Make sure the set goes to the right place. Carcassay with this ridiculously high toss. Easily dealt with by Popovic on this occasion. Mamadova goes down the line, and a miscommunication. Taisa probably should have been the player that was going for that ball. She was closest to it. I really don't think that the replacement setter, Diana, was going to make that. Daniel Lins on the bench for Molico at the moment. The Brazilian occasional starting setter not getting on court. No attack power from Mari. And you just get the feeling if Volero Zurich can get a good start in this third set, that's game over. And that's exactly what they're doing. Rabadzieva with a super shot. Well, we're already approaching last chance saloon here for this Molico Nestle team. Coach Lusamar knows it. That's why he's used this timeout so early in the piece. Let's hope he doesn't need this later in the match and isn't able to go to it. Needs his big players to fire. Needs Carcassay and Samara and the like to settle it down in the pass. He needs Mari Steinbrecher to start killing the ball. And whichever setter he has on court, be that Diana or Danielle, needs them to function off what is a pretty average pass at the moment. That's always tough for a setter to do, but said it time and time again, as an elite setter, it's about functioning off a poor pass, because the services are so good at this level. So 5-1 Zurich. Carcassay back line, misses the block, misses the court, and I don't think her captain Thaisa is very impressed with the Cuban after that shot. So the captain for Molico, Thaisa, tried her very best in that second set, started to play well. She's into the back line for the moment. Benazia is the front line blocker, and she drifts too far past Mari on that occasion. Working so hard to get to the ball. Watch Benazia just drift off behind her outside player. Poor discipline from the middle blocker for Molico. Carcassay looks very rigid on the pass. She's got that one in to Diana. The ball has finally been killed. Decent shot through the wing. And at last, Molico starting to get some joy with the very real possibility here getting into the first technical timeout with a different scoreline other than 8-5 down. Mari again to serve. Good service run here. Nicely taken, though, by Rabadzieva. Rikliuk wraps it off the arm of Carcassay. Once again, he's looking pretty static in the backcourt. And it actually ends up worse. Zurich leading 8-4 at the first technical timeout. Welcome back. The Volero Zurich fans will be absolutely delighted, but I can bet you they are all thinking the same thing. Molico are surely going to play at some point in this match, and when they do, if they can get a long enough run of points together, can they steal a set and just settle everything down? Zurich have to keep playing fast and hard, and their three main hitters must keep firing. Again, another pretty average point for Molico. Ball set too far wide, so into the antenna, it's out. It's a really poor hit. I think I was being a little overcritical there of the setter. I don't think there was a lot wrong with Diana's set, maybe a little flat and fast. Forced to dig it with the arms for the set. Carcassay can't put it away. Rabadzieva can. Just getting better and better for Volero Zurich. Molico stranded on 4 at the moment. Well, Rykliuk, Mammadova and Rabadzieva have been the key in this match when combined with the quite brilliant setting of Thompson. She has hustled so hard. That point for Molico. Well, almost received in silence. The only people making a noise in this sports hall were the players themselves down on court. Slightly wild shot from Rabadzieva. Molico trying to create some atmosphere here, trying to generate some noise off the points they're scoring, off any errors that are being made, and there's the Zurich bench, all trying to keep themselves nice and warm. It is that time of year in the far north of Switzerland. Rabadzieva stopped for a second time. Not a bad shot to back it up. Ninkovic running around on the slide D, just releasing a little bit of pressure. It's a fair old block to beat as well. Ninkovic delighted with that, goes flying past Carcasse's outstretched arms. Over on 2. This time it hits the floor. Good thinking from Diana. Well, we'll say it again. Is this the point at which Molico are going to wake it up? Is this the turning point of the match? Or can Volero Zurich make sure that it isn't? To do that, they're going to have to keep passing well, but they're going to have to keep killing the ball straight away off the service. Mammadova can't do that. Nicely retrieved from Rabadzieva, but it's a free ball. Oh, that's clever. Very good work from Volero Zurich. Rabadzieva with a second decent piece of defence, and that is some kill from the back line. Bit of everything from Rykliuk here. The set was just a little bit too far in front of her, but she gets there, kills it, and then does the limbo. Just about keeps it legal before that ball is dead. If that ball had been in the air and still in play, and she'd gone over the line, that would have been called against Zurich. Oh, and a super ace. What a clever serve from Ninkovic. There's a lot of traffic running in front of Camilla on this particular rotation. And Ninkovic has found the traffic, just served straight over the back of it, and that's died like a stone. And Camilla just cannot see the ball. Too many big players in front of her. Too good a serve. And these are basics. These are basics now that coach Lucimar is having to discuss with Carcasse, who in general actually keeps herself out of the timeouts. Very rarely gets involved with the timeouts, the Cuban player. Bit of on-the-spot physio there for Rabadzieva, who is a character. Let me tell you, she's always chatting away to the coaches, and as grim as Dragutin Baltic sometimes looks, she will come up to him and give him a little nudge. Pushes him around, has a laugh with him. I think it keeps the atmosphere on that Zurich bench very light indeed. Seems to be working. Less traffic there, but Steinbrecher just can't get a decent pass in that allows anything by way of deception. The blockers for Zurich just having it all their own way. They can see exactly where the ball's going, and Mammadova and Kuprianova lining up Carcasse like a treat. It doesn't matter how hard the Cuban hits the ball, it's not going through that block. Good shot, Taser into the corner. Molico faced with a very similar situation to the first 2 sets. How do they recover the 7 or 8 points adrift that they keep finding themselves in? They must do something here. They must recover some points before the next technical timeout. That's a great tip. Murray plays it on to Thompson, so once again it's Rykliuk off the bump set of Popovic. It'll happen again here. No, changes the angle to Mammadova. That's clever play. And I have to say, from the Serbian libero, that is a quite exceptional bump set. Mammadova not that mobile today with the injury, but she's got it into a perfect zone for the big Azerbaijan to hit cleanly home. Cracking shot, cracking set. Two very good defensive plays from Thompson. Didn't panic, played it to Popovic, knew where the player was that could get the ball into play. Once again, she's played it. This time just undercooks the bump set. Should have left it to Thompson. Good blocking though. At last, the ball on the floor. Taisa once again contributes with an attacking shot. From Volero Zurich's point of view, though, just keep chipping away at this scoreboard. Don't worry about the gap closing. You worry about putting a point on every so often. Like I say, with a huge toss on serve into the net, and it'll be 16-9 at the second technical timeout to Volero Zurich. And Molico Nestle showing no signs of recovering here, and I think Carcasse's just lost her place on court. Welcome back. So far, so good for Volero Zurich. Really fantastic opportunity for people to come and watch top-class international women's volleyball this time of year in the north of Switzerland. Yes, it is an invitational friendly tournament, but you see some real quality out there. Mammadova then is replaced, as has been the case on a number of occasions, by Laura Unternera. It looks to me like Samara has come back into the action at the expense of Carcasse. So the service into the net from Unternera, not really what the coach wanted. Now with Carcasse off the court, just wonder here if they can settle down Molico and just concentrate on getting a more stable ball in. Forget the hitting power. Taisa over the baseline, doesn't even allow that situation to develop, so she stalks away unhappy to the bench, and Kuprianova goes back to serve. This is all looking good for Volero Zurich. No signs of the pass improving there. Somehow got back into play. Oh, good blocking. Good blocking. Straight back onto the hitter's head. And there's no arguments here, really. Hard, but straight on to the player. And once again, Linkovic proves her worth as a middle blocker. 8-point lead. Another middle blocker, Kuprianova with the serve. Better pass from Samara. Murray, though, just can't quite get the same power into the spikes these days. Good retrieve. But into the net tape. Another point goes to Zurich. Well, it's tough enough to beat Rikliuk and Ninkovic with a regular spike down towards the court. But if you leave the net as part of the equation, then it's never going to happen. 19-10. Kuprianova with a nice little service run here. More good blocking. More good defence. Donera this time keeps it in play. Thompson just shovels it over. Slow down block now. Thompson can get a set away here, and she does to the middle. Not put away, but it'll be a second bite of the cherry. Not a great pass, I'm afraid, though, on the free ball, but an even worse hit on the overpass. Adenazir has made a complete and utter rickets of this. This is not good work in the backcourt from Unternera. That's a total mishit from Adenazir. From bad to worse, and Ujamar looks pretty fed up with the situation. The Molico coach will do little to recover his composure. Benazia gets the ball on the floor finally, but it's all too late. 5 points required from Zurich. Now, second set, Marie did have a reasonable service run. She's got this nice little jump float serve that can move a lot in the air. Dealt with well. But Rabatieva passes and hits, and that swing hitter position is one of great responsibility. Thompson trusting her with that faster, flatter set, but the blockers were waiting. Good to see a hitter taking responsibility for their error. Nice work. A ball is called as down. Marie says it hit me square on the foot and went into play. Linkovic wants nothing to do with it. Takes it not on court at the moment, so she's unable to argue the situation. It has to be the replacement or backup captain, Diana, on this occasion. Always tough calls. Crowd don't like it, but it's gone the way of Zurich. Maybe the crowd didn't like the protest from Molico. Off the fingers this time and out. But it's such a huge advantage here for Zurich. But it's looking more and more like a very routine 3-0. And that was not on the books. Molico, one of the favourites to be in the final for this tournament, which they can still do, providing they wake things up tomorrow against Partizan Belgrade. Another good kill. Batieva works a lot better away from the net. She's one of these hitters that likes a bit of angle to work. She's got a good enough, strong enough hit to allow her to beat the defenders. Batieva back to the service line. Not so good on this occasion. Mamadova comes round to the front court. They'll have Thompson moving to the back line soon as well, so Zurich are going to be able to finish the key part of this set with 3 tall blockers in the front line. But they may not need to get there if they keep scoring the points as easily as this. Another good, solid shot from Ninkovic, running around the back of Thompson on that slide D. Still very popular within the women's game. 2 points required then for the team in purple. That's not one of them. Taisa continues to be virtually the only shining light in this Molico lineup. Partizan in the first game of tomorrow. Another service error. So many of those today from the Brazilian team. And it means plenty of match points for Volero Zurich to make it a perfect day for them. 2 wins from 2 matches. Now they're going to do it in style. Thompson will serve. 3 big blockers in the front court. And they nearly do it with an ace. Samara attacks into the block, and a roof from Kuprianova. Still no smile from Coach Baltic, but he will be delighted on the inside. I'm sure he'll be feeling good about that one. Not the same for Coach Luis Yamar. That's a really poor start for his Molico team. Maybe still a little bit of the journey in their legs, because Volero Zurich overpowering them with some ease. When you consider the quality that this Molico team has at their disposal, that really shouldn't have happened. But Volero Zurich have had the warm-up game, and their big internationals performed very, very well indeed. They win 3-0. It's 2 wins from 2 for Zurich on day 1.